Have you ever wondered why, despite being more connected than ever, you often feel disconnected from yourself? In today's digital age, social media has become an inseparable part of our lives. Each morning, instead of waking up to a quiet reflection or a meaningful ritual, many of us instinctively reach for our phones. Notifications, status updates, and endless scrolling take over our mornings. It doesn't stop there. In those fleeting moments of downtime, whether waiting in line or sitting alone, we unconsciously immerse ourselves in an endless feed of content. Yet, by the end of the day, there's a lingering emptiness, a feeling that despite spending hours online, we haven't truly lived. Social media, while promising connection, often drags us into comparison, distraction, and even frustration. The likes, shares, and comments may validate us momentarily, but they often leave us questioning our worth, goals, and purpose. The result? A life consumed by distractions, pulling us further from the inner peace we seek. But what if I told you there's a way to break free? By mastering the principles of Stoicism, you can reclaim your focus, realign with your values, and cultivate mental clarity. In this video, we'll uncover actionable lessons from Stoic philosophy to help you conquer distractions, build resilience, and thrive in today's digital chaos. If this message resonates, share it with someone who needs it. Together, let's explore how ancient wisdom can guide us toward a life of purpose and tranquility. 1. Distinguishing what you can control. One evening, my younger sister came to me in frustration. She had spent hours crafting a heartfelt post, sharing her journey of overcoming challenges in school. But as the hours turned into a day and the likes trickled in slower than expected, she felt disheartened. Did I say something wrong? Maybe it wasn't good enough, she confided, her voice tinged with doubt. Then, just as she was about to delete the post, a message arrived. It simply said, "Thank you. Your story inspired me to keep going." At that moment, her perspective shifted. This story isn't just about her. It's a reflection of the struggles many of us face in the world of social media. We pour our thoughts and emotions into posts, hoping for validation through likes, shares, or comments. But Stoic philosophy reminds us of a timeless truth. What others think, say, or do lies beyond our control. What we can control is our intentions, our actions, and the way we respond to the outcomes. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Social media, though dazzling, often pulls us into an illusion of control. We believe that a perfectly worded post or a well-curated photo will elicit a specific reaction. Yet those reactions are shaped by others' experiences, emotions, and circumstances, things far outside our influence. Instead of chasing external validation, imagine shifting your focus inward. When you share something online, ask yourself, does this align with my values? Is it meaningful or helpful? Am I sharing this to contribute or to seek approval? By anchoring your actions to your values, you take back control. For instance, my sister's post was valuable not because it garnered hundreds of likes, but because it touched one life deeply. That is the power of focusing on what you can control. Epictetus teaches us, make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. This wisdom is especially relevant in today's digital age. While you cannot dictate how people react to your posts, you can decide to approach social media with intention and purpose. Before posting, pause and reflect. Instead of worrying about how others might respond, channel your energy into creating content that reflects your beliefs and aspirations. Social media thrives on extremes. Praise can feel intoxicating, but criticism cuts deep. Negative comments can spiral into self-doubt, while silence might feel like rejection. However, Stoicism equips us to navigate these moments with resilience. When you encounter criticism, step back and ask, is this feedback constructive, or is it noise? Does this align with my core values, or is it a distraction? By reframing your perspective, you protect your emotional well-being. Criticism, like praise, is fleeting. What matters is your ability to remain grounded in your principles. Picture a serene lake on a quiet morning. Stones are thrown into the water, creating ripples that quickly fade. The lake's surface remains undisturbed, reflecting the sky above. This is the mindset Stoicism encourages you to cultivate. Social media might toss stones into your life, opinions, reactions, or even negativity, but your inner peace remains unshaken if you focus on what you can control. For my sister, embracing this philosophy was transformative. She began to approach her online presence with clarity, sharing only what she believed could inspire or educate others. She stopped refreshing her notifications and instead poured her energy into writing, studying, and connecting with those who mattered most. Social media became a tool for expression, not a source of validation. This shift isn't easy, but it is essential. To truly master social media and life, you must practice letting go of what is outside your control. This includes not only others' reactions, but also the temptation to compare your journey to theirs. Instead of envying someone's highlight reel, celebrate your own progress. Focus on growth, not perfection. Distinguishing what you can control is the cornerstone of Stoicism. It liberates you from the weight of expectations and empowers you to act with intention. The next time you post, remember this simple truth. Your worth is not measured by likes or comments. It lies in the authenticity of your actions and the integrity of your values. By living in alignment with this principle, you not only navigate social media more effectively, but also strengthen your ability to thrive in every other area of your life. In the end, social media is a mirror. It reflects what you project into it. Choose to project meaning, purpose, and kindness. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, waste no more time arguing about what a good person should be. Be one. Focus on what you can control, and the rest will fall into place. 2. Filtering the information you consume. Not long ago, I sat down to reflect on how I was spending my time online. My social media feed had become a cluttered mix of random updates, sensational headlines, and posts that left me feeling drained rather than inspired. I realized I was giving away my attention to content that didn't serve me. It was time to make a change. In today's world, we're bombarded with information every moment we pick up our phones. Social media feeds us a constant stream of updates, news, opinions, and entertainment. But not all of it adds value to our lives. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." This insight reminds us that what we expose ourselves to shapes who we are. If we don't carefully choose what we consume, we risk being overwhelmed by noise that clouds our focus and drains our energy. I started by asking myself a few simple questions. Does this account inspire or educate me? Does it align with my values? Does it bring me closer to the person I want to be? The answers were eye-opening. Many of the accounts I followed didn't align with my goals or values, so I began the process of curating my feed. I unfollowed pages that added no real value and prioritized those that shared meaningful insights or uplifting messages. The change was immediate. My feed became less of a distraction and more of a tool for growth. Epictetus teaches us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This wisdom applies perfectly to our digital habits. We can't stop the flood of information coming at us, but we can decide what to engage with. Every time we scroll, we're making a choice about what deserves our time and attention. Think of your social media feed as a garden. If you don't tend to it, weeds, unnecessary, distracting content will take over. But with care and intention, you can cultivate a space that reflects your values and priorities. Unfollowing irrelevant accounts is like pulling weeds, and following meaningful ones is like planting seeds. When you do this, your feed becomes a source of inspiration rather than frustration. A while back, my younger sister shared her frustration with social media. She said, "Every time I scroll, I feel worse about myself. There's just so much negativity." We talked about the power of unfollowing and how it's not just a digital act, but a statement of self-respect. She decided to remove the accounts that made her feel inadequate and replace them with ones that shared uplifting and educational content. A few weeks later, she told me, "It's like I have a whole new perspective. Social media doesn't feel so overwhelming anymore." This practice isn't about ignoring reality or avoiding challenges. It's about choosing where to focus your energy. As Seneca reminds us, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. By filtering what we consume, we create space for the things that truly matter. One practical way to start is to review your following list. Take a moment to reflect on each account. Does it bring value to your life, or is it just filling space? Next, set boundaries for how much time you spend online. The more intentional you are, the more you'll find yourself engaging with content that aligns with your goals. This isn't always easy. The algorithms are designed to keep us scrolling, feeding us endless distractions. But every time you resist the urge to consume mindlessly, you take a step toward clarity and focus. By controlling what you let into your mind, you protect your peace and create room for personal growth. Imagine logging into social media and feeling inspired, not overwhelmed. Imagine a feed filled with insights, wisdom, and stories that encourage you to be your best self. That's the power of filtering the information you consume. It's a simple yet transformative step toward reclaiming your time and energy. In the end, your attention is one of your most precious resources. Guard it wisely. Follow accounts that challenge you to grow and unfollow those that distract you from your purpose. By doing so, you'll not only master social media, but also take a significant step toward mastering your life. 3. Focusing on values, not validation. In the digital age, the pursuit of validation has become a subtle yet pervasive burden. It happens almost imperceptibly. Someone posts a picture, a thought, or a moment of vulnerability, and then waits. The likes, comments, and shares begin to trickle in, shaping how they feel about what they've shared. But what happens when the responses are fewer than expected? A sense of inadequacy creeps in, fueled by the belief that their worth is tied to numbers on a screen. This cycle is exhausting, isn't it? And yet, it's something so many experience daily. Stoicism, with its timeless wisdom, offers a liberating perspective. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, if you are pained by external things, it is not they that disturb you, but your judgment of them, and it is in your power to wipe out that judgment now. In this simple yet profound truth lies the key to freedom from the relentless chase for validation. Focus on your values, not external recognition. A genuine post, shared with the intent to uplift, educate, or inspire, may not garner widespread attention. Yet if it touches even one person deeply, it has fulfilled its purpose. There is immense power in authenticity. When we create or share content rooted in our values, we connect with others on a level that transcends metrics. Imagine someone who crafts a heartfelt message about their struggles and triumphs. Perhaps it doesn't go viral, but one reader sees it and feels a spark of hope. That single connection has more meaning than 1,000 hollow likes. This is what Stoicism encourages us to embrace. The intrinsic value of our actions, rather than the fleeting approval of others. Epictetus teaches us, know first who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly. To focus on your values is to align your actions with who you truly are. Social media, for all its distractions, can become a powerful tool for self-expression when approached with this mindset. Instead of seeking validation, use it as a platform to share what matters most to you. Ideas, experiences, and insights that reflect your beliefs and aspirations. By entering your actions into your values, you free yourself from the emotional highs and lows that come with external feedback. Praise becomes a pleasant surprise, not a necessity. Criticism becomes an opportunity for growth, not a personal attack. Most importantly, silence, the absence of interaction, ceases to feel like rejection. Seneca's wisdom reinforces this idea. True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. When we focus on our values, we find fulfillment in the act itself, rather than in its outcome. The moment of creation, the effort poured into our work, and the intent behind it is where true satisfaction lies. Think about the legacy you want to leave behind. Is it one of fleeting popularity or one of lasting impact? Validation fades quickly, but actions rooted in values create ripples that endure. A kind word, a thoughtful gesture, or a post shared with sincerity may seem small, but its effects can extend far beyond what we can see. The next time you feel the pull of validation, remember that your worth is not defined by the reactions of others. It is defined by your principles, your character, and the courage to live in alignment with them. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Living according to your values is a quiet, steady strength. It does not need applause to thrive. It is its reward, a source of peace, purpose, and authenticity in a world often consumed by appearances. By focusing on what truly matters, you reclaim your energy and your time. Social media, instead of becoming a drain on your emotions, becomes a space where you express yourself meaningfully. Each post, each interaction becomes an extension of your values, a reflection of the life you want to live. In a culture that prizes validation, choosing to focus on your values is a revolutionary act. It is a step toward living with clarity and integrity, unshaken by the noise around you. As you walk this path, you'll find a deeper connection with yourself and with those who resonate with your authenticity. That is where true fulfillment lies. 4. Avoiding comparison and competition. Social media often feels like a stage where everyone displays their highlights, celebrations, achievements, perfectly curated moments. But behind the curtains, there's a chaos that remains hidden. Struggles, insecurities, and untold stories. Yet, we often forget this reality. Instead, we compare our unfiltered lives to the polished perfection we see online, and the result is often disheartening. I once found myself scrolling through a friend's post of their luxurious vacation. The pictures were stunning, filled with laughter and beauty. A pang of envy hit me before I reminded myself, this is their moment, not mine. As Marcus Aurelius said, don't be caught up in imitating others' successes. Focus instead on your own path. It was a humbling realization that what I was witnessing was just the stage, not the full play. Stoicism teaches us the futility of comparison. Epictetus reminds us, what concerns me is not what happens to others, but what I do with what happens to me. Social media by its design tempts us to measure our lives against others, but this is neither fair nor productive. Their successes don't diminish your worth, and their highlights don't erase your progress. Imagine standing in a crowded gallery, each wall adorned with portraits of different lives. Each painting is unique, shaped by its own story, struggles, and triumphs. It would be absurd to declare one painting better than another. They are incomparable because they are distinct. In the same way, your journey is your own, incomparable to anyone else's. I remind myself of this truth every time I feel the tug of comparison. Instead of looking outward, I turn inward and ask, am I better than I was yesterday? Growth is a deeply personal process. It isn't about outshining someone else, but about becoming a more authentic, resilient version of yourself. Competition is another trap. Social media often amplifies a sense of rivalry, where likes, followers, and achievements feel like metrics of success. But the Stoics knew better. Seneca said, there is no reason to compare yourself to others. The only comparison that matters is with your former self. Competing with others is exhausting and ultimately hollow. Real fulfillment comes from self-mastery. When you free yourself from the cycle of comparison and competition, you gain clarity. Instead of being consumed by envy or self-doubt, you can celebrate others' achievements genuinely. Their wins no longer feel like your losses, but rather inspiration that the world is filled with possibilities. One of the most liberating lessons I've learned is to appreciate the diversity of human experience. Your quiet moments of joy, your small victories, and even your struggles are equally meaningful as someone else's grand achievements. When you stop comparing, you start living fully, embracing the beauty of your own story. There's a saying, comparison is the thief of joy. It steals your peace, clouds your focus, and leaves you chasing a mirage of perfection. But when you let go of the need to measure up, you reclaim your happiness. You realize that life isn't a competition. It's a personal journey, rich with unique challenges and opportunities. Social media can be a tool for connection rather than a source of insecurity. Instead of comparing, use it to learn, to grow, and to find inspiration. Follow those who uplift you, who share wisdom and insights that align with your values. Let go of accounts that trigger self-doubt or unnecessary rivalry. Every time you find yourself drawn into comparison, pause. Remind yourself that what you see is only a fraction of the truth. Behind every smiling face and polished post is a story, just as complex and imperfect as your own. Let this awareness guide you back to your own path. In the end, the only competition that matters is with the person you were yesterday. The only comparison worth making is between who you are and who you aspire to be. As Marcus Aurelius said, look well into yourself. There is a source of strength which will always spring up if you look. Focus on that strength. Cultivate it. Let it guide you toward a life of purpose, peace, and fulfillment. By avoiding comparison and competition, you step into a life that is truly your own, one that honors your values, celebrates your progress, and embraces the uniqueness of your journey. 5. Balancing online and offline life. Each morning, countless people begin their day not with reflection, exercise, or meaningful connection, but by reaching for their phones. The endless scroll begins, consuming precious moments that could be spent building relationships, pursuing passions, or simply enjoying the peace of a new day. In a world dominated by screens, the balance between online and offline life has become more vital than ever. Stoic philosophy offers us a profound perspective on this modern dilemma. Marcus Aurelius advised, "It is not external events themselves that trouble us, but the judgments we make about them." In the context of today's digital age, this means recognizing that the constant pull of social media and notifications only has power if we allow it. The key to balance lies in intentionally choosing where to focus our attention. Imagine a day spent fully present, sharing a meal with loved ones, immersing yourself in meaningful work, or walking outside and savoring the fresh air. These moments ground us in reality, reminding us of what truly matters. Social media and online content, while convenient and engaging, can never replace the depth and richness of real-world experiences. One practice I've embraced is starting my mornings offline. Instead of immediately checking emails or scrolling through news feeds, I take time to stretch, read a few pages of a book, or enjoy a quiet cup of coffee. These small rituals create a sense of calm and intention that sets the tone for the rest of the day. Seneca reminds us we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Much of the stress tied to our online lives, whether it's the pressure to stay updated, respond instantly, or keep up with others, is self-imposed. By stepping away from the digital noise, even for brief moments, we gain clarity and control over our time. Another essential aspect of balance is prioritizing relationships. Real connection happens face-to-face, in shared laughter, in meaningful conversations, or simply being present with someone you care about. No amount of likes or comments can replace the joy of a heartfelt exchange. A friend once told me about their experience of disconnecting for a weekend retreat. At first, they felt uneasy, as if they were missing something important. But as the hours passed, they began to notice the beauty around them. The rustling of leaves, the warmth of the sun, the sound of birds. By the end of the retreat, they felt rejuvenated, realizing they had gained far more than they'd missed. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Similarly, a balanced life is not about cutting out technology entirely, but about reducing our reliance on it. Setting boundaries, such as device-free dinners or designated offline hours, allows us to engage more fully with the world around us. Consider creating a digital routine that supports your values. Instead of spending hours passively consuming content, use technology intentionally to learn, connect, or create. When you log off, redirect your energy toward activities that nourish your mind and spirit. Reading, exercising, journaling, or spending time with family. Balance also requires reflection. Take a moment to evaluate how you're spending your time. Are you engaging with social media out of habit, or is it serving a purpose? When was the last time you had an uninterrupted conversation or enjoyed an activity without documenting it online? By asking these questions, you can identify areas where online life has encroached on offline moments and make adjustments accordingly. Ultimately, balancing online and offline life is about living with intention. It's about choosing to be present in your own story rather than being a passive observer of others. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This wisdom urges us to focus on action, on living authentically and meaningfully, both online and offline. When you cultivate balance, you'll find a deeper sense of fulfillment. Your relationships will grow stronger, your mind clearer, and your time more meaningful. The digital world will no longer control you. Instead, it will become a tool that enhances your life rather than dominating it. So, the next time you reach for your phone, pause, look around. Choose to engage with the people and experiences that bring lasting joy. In doing so, you'll not only find balance, but also rediscover the richness of life beyond the screen. 6. Managing negative opinions and criticism. Negative opinions and criticism are inevitable, especially in the digital age. Social media amplifies voices, making it easier for others to comment on your life, your thoughts, or your actions. Yet Stoicism reminds us of a powerful truth. It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. These words from Epictetus hold the key to navigating negativity with strength and grace. Imagine this: you post something meaningful to you, something crafted with care. Then a negative comment appears, dismissive, mocking, or outright cruel. It stings. The immediate reaction might be anger, frustration, or self-doubt. But in that moment, remember, the comment does not define you. It reflects the mindset of the person who wrote it, not your worth. Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. When faced with criticism, the first step is to separate yourself from it. Understand that the words of others hold no power unless you grant it to them. Criticism often feels personal, but it's rarely about you. It stems from the critic's perspective, their experiences, and sometimes their insecurities. By seeing it this way, you can approach negative feedback with objectivity rather than emotion. Ask yourself, is this criticism constructive? Does it help me grow, or is it simply noise? When the feedback is constructive, embrace it. Use it as an opportunity to improve. Seneca reminds us, if a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable. Criticism, when valid, can act as a compass, guiding us toward growth and refinement. However, if the comment lacks substance or aims to provoke, let it go. It does not deserve your energy. I once shared a heartfelt story online, hoping to inspire others. While many responded positively, one comment accused me of seeking attention. At first it hurt, but then I paused and reflected. Is this comment true? Does it align with my intentions? The answer was no. My purpose was clear, and I chose to focus on those I had genuinely helped. That single negative remark lost its weight because it no longer served a purpose in my mind. This is the essence of Stoicism, understanding that you cannot control others' opinions, but you can control how you respond. Social media thrives on reactions, yet you hold the power to choose silence, composure, and even kindness in the face of negativity. Epictetus also teaches, remember, it is not he who gives abuse or blows who affronts, but the view we take of these things as insulting. You have the choice to see criticism as a reflection of the critic, not a judgment of your character. Another practice is setting boundaries. Not every comment requires a response. Sometimes, the most powerful reply is no reply at all. By refusing to engage with negativity, you protect your peace and demonstrate strength. Balancing criticism also involves understanding your own values. When you are clear about your principles, the opinions of others lose their grip. As Marcus Aurelius said, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one. Live with integrity, and let your actions speak louder than any words others might say. Think of criticism as waves crashing against a rock. The waves may be loud and relentless, but the rock remains steady, unmoved by their force. You too can cultivate this steadiness by grounding yourself in self-awareness and resilience. Consider this. Each time you rise above negativity, you grow stronger. Each time you choose calm over reaction, you reinforce your inner peace. Over time, these small acts of control build a foundation of confidence that no outside force can shake. Finally, remember that criticism often says more about the critic than the criticized. It is not your responsibility to carry the weight of someone else's anger or frustration. Instead, focus on your purpose, your growth, and the positive impact you want to make. Managing negative opinions and criticism is not about avoiding them. It's about mastering your response. It's about recognizing that you are the steward of your emotions and your worth. Let the wisdom of Stoicism guide you in these moments, reminding you that what truly matters is not the noise around you, but the clarity within. By embracing this perspective, you transform criticism from a source of pain into an opportunity for growth. In the end, it's not the opinions of others that shape your life. It's how you choose to respond that defines your path forward. In a world dominated by constant distractions, finding clarity and peace is a challenge we all face. But through the timeless wisdom of Stoicism, we learn that the power to reclaim our focus lies within us. By distinguishing what we can control, filtering the information we consume, focusing on our values rather than seeking validation, avoiding comparison, balancing online and offline life, and managing criticism with grace, we unlock the tools to lead more meaningful and intentional lives. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. These words remind us that the chaos of social media or the noise of opinions cannot define us unless we allow it. Instead, by cultivating self-discipline, mindfulness, and clarity, we can rise above the distractions that threaten to overwhelm us. Now, it's your turn. What challenges have you faced in navigating the digital world? How have you managed distractions, criticism, or the pull of social media? Share your story in the comments below. Your experiences could inspire someone else to find their own path to balance and fulfillment. Remember, the journey to mastering your mind is not about perfection but progress. Each step you take brings you closer to a life of focus, inner peace, and resilience. Let Stoicism be your guide, helping you navigate this complex world with purpose and strength.